Hi everyone, Jon Mitchell here, Mayor of New Bedford, and this is another installment of the Mayor's Weekly Update. So 4 items today. So the first is an important economic development, and that is the announcement that by the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center that they wish to establish a marine tech innovation center on our waterfront. This would be over by the Bourne Counting House. They want to put it in 2 places, in the Bourne Counting House, as well as constructing a new building next door in that parking lot that sits there. This is right by the Fairfield Inn on the central waterfront. And so what this thing will do is, it'll be a relatively small building, about 1 story, and it will, its purpose will be to help create new businesses here in New Bedford, new marine tech businesses. We've got a lot going on the waterfront. Obviously, they're the biggest fishing port in America. We're launching the offshore wind industry, and there's a lot of other stuff going on. And all this activity is fertile ground for new businesses and innovation to occur. And what the center will do is to help generate more of that, to push forward our economy to come up with new applications that can help grow existing businesses and help form new ones. And so the idea is that with that growth will come new jobs and new opportunities for our residents. That's the idea. We've made arrangements for parking, so that's squared away. And we're getting paid the equal amount that we earn from parking on the site anyway, so the city's, or the Port Authority, to be more precise, will be made whole. So it's a really good, and if it doesn't work out, and it's unlikely that it doesn't work out, then the best case scenario, it becomes a national leader to bring people to New Bedford and to advance issues concerning marine technology and to create more jobs. In the worst case, unlikely scenario, the city gets the building at the end of the lease. So it's a really good deal for the city. So I just wanted to let everybody know that. I know there's been some talk out there about different things concerning this center and concerns, but we've worked through all those issues, and it's a really promising development for New Bedford. The second thing I just wanted to talk about is that we cut the ribbon. Actually, we broke ground over at Dias Field on Mount Pleasant Street, right across the street from Empire Ford, on a brand new regulation-sized soccer field. For all the great history of soccer in New Bedford, this will be the first real field, the first regulation-sized field, apart from the fields over at New Bedford High and Volk. So we've long had people asking for a brand new field. As we know, as a lot of folks know, the Great New Bedford Little League, who had its home there for decades, folded during the pandemic, and their teams have been absorbed, their players have been absorbed by the other 2 little leagues in the city. And so we have all these baseball diamonds that are not being used, and what we're doing is we're building all that out now so that we can have a really terrific space to play soccer. As much as New Bedford's a hotbed for soccer, this will make it even more so. There's actually a smaller field, 2, called a mini pitch, for little kids who are learning to play soccer, so that's all good too. But it's a $1.3 million investment in that neighborhood, coupled with some nearby investments as well that will complement it. And it's a real commitment on our part to bring people to that part of the city, for kids, most particularly for kids in that part of the city, to have a first-rate facility. So that will be done next year. The grass has to grow in. It's a field after all. So we look forward to seeing kids out there playing next year. A couple of other things I just wanted to touch on. We released last week a very comprehensive report on homelessness in New Bedford. Homelessness is a tricky issue. It's a very complex issue. There are many reasons why people experience homelessness, and homelessness across America is going up. And so we want to make sure we're playing our part here in New Bedford, so that we want to make sure we understand the root causes of homelessness, so that we can tackle it better. And there are a number of good recommendations that have emerged from this report, and so we want to make sure that we're implementing those things that will work well here. So more to come on that, but that's been made public as well. We do think that even though we can't control homelessness entirely, and that there are some people who come here who are homeless, and it's a very fluid population. We need to do what we can to help people who are really hitting rock bottom like that, to get them back on track. The last thing I just want to say is I wanted to touch on something that people have asked about over the years, and that's the status of the Kings Highway plazas, right? There's two plazas. There's the lower one where McDonald's and Ocean State Job Lot are, and then there's the one that's a little more elevated where Papa Gino's was, where where General Cinemas was, AMC theaters were. And so the lower one was sold recently to a developer, which was good news. For years, we've been trying to get the owners of those properties to activate them, to do more, because the vacancies have been high, they've been underutilized. We think we can do better, especially on a site that's close to the highway as it is. It's right off of 140. So the good news is it's in new hands, and we'll work with that developer, hopefully, to activate those sites. This is obviously, it's owned by a private entity. It's up to them what to do, but through our zoning and through incentives, we can help guide that development. So we'll see what happens. I'm encouraged by it. That's all I got today, which is a lot. This has been the Mayor's Weekly Update. We'll see you next week.